Testing. 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 Use of the star. Quick balls OP! Is it absorbed key? Oh, it discards the key. Oh no, how am I catching around from here? Also ghosts, like, don't know how to hit you. Honestly, I feel like if I hit you with anything, you'll die. Also, I have to land, so I don't... Like, literally, if it hits you, will kill you. Okay, seems like I have to set up. I'll see the other. What do you use? Sucker punch. Oh, you really try to sucker punch me? Some fanatics will go great pain to prepare the perfect tea and teacup, eagerly waiting for the synesthete to come out and possess their selection. Wait, oh, selection, not basically. Alright, I heard rumors about your vault form. Let's see. We get a quick ball. Yeah. It is said that a Pokemon that died in the wild without ever interacting with a human was reborn as this Pokemon. Wow, that's brutal. The Pokemon has been banned from competitive. Wow, you are now. Okay, I don't know. You're gonna probably do something stupid. You take down your own hand? Go ahead and try. God, it's fucking insane. Yeah, just keep trying. Jesus Christ. I can't do it. If you buff yourself up one more time, you'll probably be able to survive my hit. Yes, got him. It can sense the feelings of others by touching them with its horn. The species has assisted people with their work since 5,000 years ago. Alright. 1 second after I catch this Pokemon. I'm catching the most balanced Pokemon in the game. Can I take a lunch? No, because level difference. I'm gonna like test what it has. What I'm worried I might have a rock move, that's kind of what I'm worried about. Oh wow, it's fairy too. Okay, that's clear. I really want to change it. I think the phone actually deleted that app. Let me just catch this Pokemon quick. Oh, I can say this Pokemon really. Why does the phone make it so much worse? That's I have to do this thing. It's gonna spam that movie though. Oh crit, like... Wait. Yeah, keep going on attack. Yeah, keep actually going on attack. If I'm weak enough, I can probably hit this thing and not die. Oh, attack like that. We're off this. Alright. Hansa spends most of the time sleeping graveyard. Amongst all the dog Pokemon, this one must be devoted to its master. What does Frisk even do? I guess it does it, like, does it show? Oh. Pokemon developed from an abandoned doll as meant a grudge. It has seen in dark alleys. Why does every ghost Pokemon wants to kill you? High roar. That's a fire type. Let's see. Okay, what accuracy is this move? I'm curious. 90. Why is it treating it like it's like 100? Yeah, like literally, every time I hit them, I've missed like 3 out of 4. 3 out of 2. Alright, switch. We'll switch to. No, since every time I've used Axe, I've missed so many times with Axe Kick. It's not even funny how much time I've missed with that move. Is this Psychic Claw, right? I found the one I was looking for. Let's see, cute. Man, why is it done or something crazy? I only get one shot at this. It's caught. I hear you beat Tulip in earnest. She's been overachiever since way back when, so a defeat now and then will help curb her ego. I gotta kick up my training gear so I can beat her in a battle just like you did. Also, me, just come here up. Oh, this is a prize of dinner. Alright. Yeah, I forgot I've got enough people. Yeah, my Pokemon research is moving along. See you. Here, over there. Pokemon, don't give up. Alright, so I completed Pokédex he wants. Hello, Drug. I hope everyone ready to learn something new today. You did all midterm exams. Thanks for answering my little questions at the end too. I'll be sure to keep your response in mind. Alright, we're now heading to the last half of our class together. It's time for our knowledge to evolve and grow, and just like our Pokemon. Evolution. Yep, evolution. Today we're going to learn about the fascinating phenomenon of Pokemon evolution. As your Pokemon battle and level up, they learn moves and get stronger. And for some Pokemon, once they leveled up enough, their appearance changes and their stats increase, and sometimes by a lot. That's Pokemon evolution. Pokemon become very strong when they battle, making them trusty partners in battle. But some Pokemon prefer to keep their adorable pre-evolute self. To do this, you just need to remember a certain button when yes. B for best answer. The bottom, you press B as soon as the Pokemon is evolved, you'll change it from. You can let the Pokemon hold the item as an Eversun to keep it from evolving. And keep in mind that the requirements of evolution differ from Pokemon to Pokemon. Some evolution as some Firestone, sometimes not used on them. Others may have specific moves or defeat a specific Pokemon in battle to evolve. The way primates evolve into another is strange. You see, there's a certain move that... Oops, sorry. Oh, that's weird. I kinda would have used a Primate Finale. I don't even have a Primate Finale. I have a Mankey, but I don't have a Primate. Oh, I already know a biology class. Sure. Learn something new today. But before we get going, do you remember a final exam? Well, that's because I found out about it and I got yelled at. Whoops. Apparently he used it to tell I was hiding something just by looking at me. He didn't notice that all the colors flushed right on my face. Speaking of colors, I teach you to put all the Pokemon colors as they pertain to Pokemon. Some Pokemon have slightly different coloration or patterns on the body based on their gender or individual differences. In very rare cases, the Pokemon may have wildly different colorations compared to others of the same species. We call these specimens shiny Pokemon. It's quite rare to cross paths with one. That's right, you may have the makings of a... I think it's 1 in 400 if you have the shiny charm. That's it. Shiny Pokemon appear 1 in 4,000. Isn't that amazing? The problematic of encountering one in the wild is the same as hatching one from the egg too. Eggs from a pair of Pokemon raised around different languages are specifically special case. It is a higher than average chance that a shiny Pokemon will hatch from these eggs. But we have been able to figure out why is that just yet. Also, I heard rumors that a charm that increases the likelihood of finding a shiny when... Can you believe it? This claim can be scientifically verified, but it should... How do I breed Pokemons again? They don't tell me that. Sure. Well done to instant. Some of you are under pressure because others seem to have trouble, but I can tell that you all tried your best. I am quite pleased to say that every last one of you passed. I can only assume that means you all come to love numbers. Stay sharp and try doing your best for the rest of my classes too. Speaking of sharp, do you know how the word applies to Pokemon battles? That's right, it has to do with stat boost. Your Pokemon stats can rise and fall throughout the course of the battle. Each time a Pokemon attack, especially raised by 1 moves affected by 50% more. If the same Pokemon from the obvious 3 example use Work Up again, both its attack that's 100%, being twice as strong. Sword Dance on the other hand boosts attack by 2 stages at once, allowing the Pokemon to deal double damage after a single use. Sword Dances twice would boost the Pokemon stage by 4. How much more damage does it deal? Wait, that's a trick question. It's double times 50, 100. That's double. Wait. Quadruple, right? Or no. Wait, I'm confused. Okay. Okay, let's see. It's 3, then 6, and then by 2 shooting. Yeah, I guess I gotta be quick because it's tricking me. Not really. I had to like think about it might trick me with this. I'm thinking about like times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That's not how it works. 200% increasing it. Yeah, I kind of should use that example. Small boost, but it must be taken seriously. If that simply rose, that means it has gone up 1 stage. It rose probably 2 stages. So you know X attack special as. Except no one in a respectable community will use those. Oh, fun class today. Did you... Oh, sharper. I know that it was a little difficult, all that talk of multiplication percentage and like, but today we'll be talking about percentages again to learn about probability. That may sound like we're going to have another difficult class, but did you know that all of you already deal the probability on your regular basis? Pokemon's moves generally have a property called accuracy, which determines the probability that they will hit. Or in case with me using Axe Kick, it's basically a 50-50, even though it has an accuracy of 90. The accuracy of 100%, unless it's a Gen 1 where basically it has a 1 in like a tiny percent of it missing. If you do 100 times, you could expect it. The move Hypnosis has a 60% accuracy. That means if you hit 60 times and 100, to put another way, out of 100 you'll be missed 40 times. Many of the truly powerful moves also tend to have lower accuracy, so when deciding whether to go slow and steady with moves that are sure to hit, or hard and fast with stronger moves but less accuracy, you're already studying probability. Let me see here. Perhaps Surf and Hydro Pump would be a good example. Actually, those are really amazing examples. Surf has a power of 90 but its accuracy is 100, which means it will hit every time, which is like... However, so between which move would you use yourself? Hit me. For Power Vice, this Surf versus Hydro Pump debate has been ongoing for some quite time. I'm more invested in debating about rock type, rock size, and Stonehenge. I could work up. really fast. I'm like, listen, you're all great. You're halfway there. Any Très bien. Response. Good answer. Merci, my friends. I knew I could count on your stars. Can I just call him Mr. Worldwide? Leading up to the midterm, we learn all sorts of words. Sunday, I thought I'd be throwing a crowbar with this reading comprehension. Oh. Listen, Pikachu. As you heard, Pokemon can also use words to communicate. It's not always easy for us to understand them, but their words have meaning just as I do. Pokemon can use language to share all kinds of information with each other, like the location of food, weather, nearby. Some Pokemon's cries may sound different depending on what it wants to say. I'm sure you're all curious of say. Once more. I've never had a Pikachu, so I'm kinda... Oh wow, I got lucky. Wait, that's right, I had a Pikachu friend here pretend to be angry for us. Same Pokemon can communicate its feelings in a different way. Their voices change depending on the mood and physical condition. Try to listen more carefully to Pokemon, you may gain a deeper understanding of them. They may have been... some actually don't communicate with words at all, they instead use a electromagnetic or shockwave. Some can use telepathy. And now, a purpose of nothing, let me give you one word of advice. If you poke your Pokemon too many times while watching them during picnic, they'll get mad at you. I think English is the hardest class to take, my dear friend. How today? I hope you're doing marvelously well. It's time for another lesson. As to what is it? Are you ready? I was learning less from an excellent friend. Even your replies to my questions are excellent. Au revoir today. We'll be once again focusing on listening. Pikachu? As you remember from last class, some Pokemon cries sound different depending on what they want to say. Today we'll be learning more about language used by Pokemon. This sounds very big, doesn't it? It's a voice that seems a little lower pitched too. You literally gave me like the biggest hint ever. It's lower pitched. It says, I couldn't tell the difference between some of this Pikachu's cries, so when you said lower pitch, it gave me a big... It's expressing sadness, kind of what makes you want to cry, doesn't it? That's right, I had a little Pikachu cry as if it was crying. The Pikachu response. Now a purpose of nothing. Let me give you all one of the wise words of advice. When making sad noises like this, you should treat them with a bit more kind than usual. Well, you probably already knew that though. A piece of cake, of course, this goes for the classmates and others as well. Friends should support each other in times of sadness. I truly hope that you can all have smiles on your faces at the time, my friends. Okay, next lesson. This will be our final lesson together. I hope you're ready for the climactic finale. Adios. Alright, Hustle, I'm back. Hey, I get to see the crying guy before. I hope he's good. Yo, it's Penny, I see your Google Chrome head. Hello, it's me, Hustle, yet again. I am pleased to say everyone did very well in the midterms. As a reward for all your hard work, we have a special guest visiting today. Now then, Bryce, please come in. Oh, I see. It's the whip. God, it's like... I mean, you're not as bad as the old man with the cutter. I'm like, okay, I am Bruce. I'm an artist and I focus exclusively on graphs type Pokemon for my work. Bruce, I here mainly created 3D dimensional pieces such as statues like this. And one of the major works is the installation titled Surrendering Sunflower found in Artificial. Many of you challenge are no doubt familiar with this sculpture. Yes, I do recognize some faces among your students. I wish I could say the same about you. Hope you don't understand how fortunate you are to attend Haas's class. Haas is a man who saved me when I had lost all hopes and given up on myself. But he never gave up on me. And I do not exaggerate when I say that he is the mentor in my life. It's precisely thanks to Haas that I was able to establish my current art style. Dear boss, I have nothing against reminiscing about old times, but today I hope you will guide this in a class way only you can. Of course. Let's see. Why don't we discuss that what Haas mentioned about surrendering some flora? Can you tell me what move when I was... So none of the answers I said were right at all. Okay, none of the answers were right. Okay, I hate you already. When I started out hard, I experienced many hardships. I even became deathly ill and fell into the sun that drove me to desperation. I began worrying about what would sell. I was concerned only about fame and fortune. But all that pieces during this time had no depth. They were all shallow trash. It was then when I met Haas and he helped me realize how petty I was being. I'll spare you the details. But in the end, I was able to leave all that behind, and also why I crafted the Sunflora. Remarkable. Even if I did not know the full story until now. This kind of thing is hard for someone to, especially when they are so close to you. I don't doubt that you adolescents will often find your heads crowded with worries. My advice to you is simple. Be honest with yourself and do whatever your heart desires. So long as you don't cause trouble, that is all for me. I must admit I'm beginning to feel a bit embarrassed, so I bid you farewell, Haas. And farewell to the pupils as well. I can't believe such a wonderful class. Thank you. So emotional. Oh, hey, Arvin. Allow me to apologize for losing my composure during my last class. Also, please stop giving me answers that have no right answer. That's annoying. I was so touched by Bryce's story that I simply could not contain my emotion. I'm sorry for making so much sense. I certainly got a very stern talking from Miss Time about after the class. Yeah. Anyway, let's shift gears. Dive into a more material study. Have any of you heard of the 10 sites of Paldea? As the name would imply, there are 10 sites in the Paldea that are considered pretty beautiful. The Grand Olive Orchid is the most accessible. You can get filled with olive trees from all the quarter going. 2 waterfalls that are counted among these are the Fury Falls and Casoria Falls. The peak of Glenmont is known as the Paldea's highest peak, but there are another cliff of Country Mountain that named after Reverend State. So let me ask you this, my students. What is the name of the 3-pronged cliffs in Glacier Mountain? No need to grasp a straw. I don't remember any place. God, how am I supposed to remember these? Oh wow, I guessed. Little hand taking hold of something, doesn't it? Three-pronged cliff is known as the Galaxy of Grasp. Though its shape is far too sturdy to be that of a human hand, I imagine something looked like a Pokemon hand grabbing something. What, Eternatus? There are mountains in the area of 3 of the East Province. You can get a good look at it. Leventia. It's particularly gorgeous at night. In fact, the view is so brilliant it is known as the Million-Volt Skyline. I hear it's a quite hot spot for dates and deservedly so for not having such a romantic view. I imagine it's what you could say is a very fleet selfie spot. Of course, you may feel that not all the 10 sites live up to their grandiose name. How often do we visit some tourist spots only to be disappointed? Not to say that you shouldn't visit them, only that you should keep your hopes in check. The important thing is to go yourself and see them for your own 2 eyes. But sometimes a disappointing thing can be worthwhile in its own. Take a chance. Thank you for your attention. Speaking facts. Hey handsome, put away your phones. It's time to be in class. Though some of you had to retake the midterm exam multiple times, but I'm glad that the majority of the classes passed without issue. I feel honored to see that the knowledge and skills independently for daily life has taken root in all of you. I trust that you all work hard, just as hard on your life skills in the second half of our courses as well. Let us now turn our attention to the topics of the day, which was inspired by a question I received on a subject of meal powers. The student who asked this question is a young man who enjoys the culinary arts. He tells me that he regularly researches culinary techniques on his own and pays careful attention to the ingredients he uses. He also spends day and night studying all aspects of the culinary arts. Yet despite this, he is baffled by his inability to increase the effectiveness of his meal powers. So tell me, my friend, since you did quite well in your mixing, what should this young man do to increase the effectiveness of his meal power? I wanted to say Arvin so bad. Perfect question. I see that you are knowledgeable about. To increase the effective meal power, your sandwich must be filled with many different ingredients. For a single person, that is the proof of difficulty, but if you prepare a sandwich while others, you will be able to handle a large serving of bread. With the large base, it becomes quite simple to add more ingredients to your students, which in turn makes it possible to receive meal powers of increased effectiveness. This applies more broadly as well when dealing with difficult issues. Working with others to solve that skill may be the best course of action. I'm sure that Arvin is likely to work with friends to craft his sandwich. If any of my male students is a matter of privacy, I should have asked that you do not pry too deeply. Our time together has come to an end, for I bid you all farewell. That's good. Put away your phones, it's time to be in class. While you're out performing field work with one of your Pokemon walking outside, have you ever noticed a change in its coloration? I don't mean that it suddenly becomes a shiny Pokemon or that nonsense like that, even though you're amazed. I'm speaking of its becoming filthy. Pokemon battles that get hurt by moves used against them. They get battle in the wind and rain, they begin to be covered in sand and mud. To get them were filthy. Have you seen many trainers walking around like these without addressing the issue? It is deplorable. That's the question. Who am I sure would not tolerate for the same conduct? Aya. What should you do if your Pokemon... That was by far the easiest question I've got all day. When your Pokemon are there to clean them, that is simply a common sense. You are having a picnic and you are approaching the Pokemon on your team and perform a variety of actions. One such thing is a Pokemon, in other words, you're able to clean them up. You start getting a sponge and lather silhouette as you will gently scrub your Pokemon. Once your Pokemon is nice and covered in soapy bubbles, the Pokemon will encapsulate the filth. Then you simply wash and spray. This will get clean. That's quite certain, but they will store HP and create status conditions. However, some Pokemon may have parts of their body that don't want to be scrubbed or that would rather not get wet. Be sure to keep that in mind when cleaning your Pokemon. Now, the more I must mention that some Pokemon like to be dirty. Though I contradict myself by saying this, but please do remember that cleaning your Pokemon is not always the kind thing to do. Our time together has come to an end. I bid you all farewell. Another day, another battle study. Oh, so let's get right to it. You all gave me everything you had on the midterm. Well done. We all resume our regular class today, so keep up the energy and routine. Have all your Pokemon use the R button to send out your Pokemon? If you do, your Pokemon will run off in the direction you're facing. It's a super useful tactic that lets your Pokemon pick up faraway items for you. And that's not all. If there's a wild Pokemon near that you send your Pokemon, it will start battling each other. We call those battles auto battles. Just as the name implies, your Pokemon will act as on its own during auto battles, meaning you won't have to give any commands. If your Pokemon wins, it will get experience, just like it would in regular battles. If you make a good use of these battles, they can be a very efficient way to train your party. But you want to remember that Pokemon won't evolve or learn new moves right away if they level up from an auto battle. Also, if a Pokemon loses an auto battle, it will come back with a small amount of HP left, making sure you heal it right up away. Well, I'm just about did the whole class as a one-sided lecture. Does anyone have any questions so far? You already did this. I cannot wait to see. Even an auto battle, our Pokemon are out there much fun and have them retreated. So the Pokemon with low HPs are already worn out. They probably won't enjoy auto as much, so they don't work them too hard, okay? In conclusion, auto only work if the trainer and the Pokemon have a relationship of mutual trust. Be smart in how you use auto battles so you do not lose the trust of your Pokemon. Ah man, I was just suggest we do some hands-on practice to the drive home, but I guess we're out of time as usual. Take off your little ass. A question with no one. I already knew it. Well, some of them are easy, like how you catch what you can't. How? Like, you really can't. Greetings, my little students. Whenever you did yesterday, now a part of history. I was hoping to continue to unravel the marvels that is history has presented us today. However, I can imagine your ability to concentrate has been spectacularly derailed by my midterms. I was changing things up for fun and variety may be a good idea every now and then. So allow me to test you on an old fairy tale that has been passed down from Paladania for generations. Once upon a time there was a king who very much enjoyed collecting treasure. He was particularly fond of treasures from other countries. One day a merchant from the east heard rumors of this king and came to meet him. The merchant laid out 4 treasures in front of the treasure king loving king. The 4 treasures were a vessel, a sword, a set of tablets, and a set of beads. Seeing such variety before him, the king leaped for joy. He showered the merchant with gold coins and claimed all 4 of the treasures for himself. Oh no, I know what question you're going to ask me. Oh wow, yes, you have literally... See well. The printed tablets are wooden and used to write. As you know, they fell out of popularly used papers and become more universally available. For the king to consider these papers substitute for treasure, they must have been superb quality. That, or perhaps there are some amazingly profound teaching writings on them. So the king obtained these 4 treasures, and on a very night, it's said that the terrible disasters rained down upon this castle, reducing it to rubble by dawn. Oh, it's that time already. I wasn't done with my story, but alas, so ends here. If you're interested in how the story ends, you may come. Let's get the run to it. I hope you give Abba a shot like you asked him. Making good of your offspring let you train a bunch of different Pokemon. It's so efficient to get better, and you need to make TMs and TM machines. Speaking of which, have you all been using the TM machines? I sure hope so, because it's pop quiz time. To create TMs you need Pokemon materials and one other thing. And you remember what it is? You already. Oh. The correct answer is Leaf Points, LP for short. You give LP and Pokemon's materials to TM machines to create them, but not all. You can also exchange Pokemon materials at. I recently heard about some shady individual getting LP illegally using a technique called hacking or something like that. Oh. I don't want anyone getting involved in bad stuff like that, got it? Anyway, we also had TMs that you want to make it to your watch list. They will keep you an eye on the materials together. In conclusion, in order to make TMs, you need Pokemon material. If you want to get a hold of this material, you have to battle all kinds of Pokemon. I was just about to suggest we do some hands-on, but I guess we're... So take care, you little rascals. Before I take the last class, I'm gonna do some... Yo, Haas, what's up? Oh, hello there, young Kaiser. I'm sorry, but I thought I lost George. I feel I must again apologize for what transpired in the schoolyard. Of course, referring to how I rather suddenly had taken my leave while we were still engaged in conversation. That woman who had showed up is a dragon tamer and a relative of mine, I might add. You see, I come a very strong long line of trainers who specialize in dragon-type Pokemon. Okay, Mr. Leaf 4, you told me what team you're going to use. There was a child in our family who was expected to stand at its head and lead it to greatness. But a young lad rebellion little fellow that he was ran away from home one day. He made quite the show, swearing he'd make a living with music. A lot has happened since then, and now he's the art teacher and Elite Four members before you. After I so rudely took my leave during our last conversation, my dear relative encouraged me to give up teaching and return home as last. I've been told the current leader of my family, that is semi-father, is in poor health. But I do apologize. Perhaps I'm not cut out for teaching after all. What sort of teacher grumbles on at his own students? You have no idea how much your words mean to me. Thank you so much. There's something I would very much like to ask your help with. You see, I don't want anyone to overhear this, but I have rumors of an incredibly sweet condiment that exists somewhere in Pali region. I really must experience that ambrosial sweetness for myself. You're the only one who knows of my insatiable sweetness, but I have no one else I can turn to for help for this matter. I can't go looking for this con myself, lest I destroy the image my students have me. I will repay you the trouble for it. Give it some little interest. In the meantime, I will gather what information I can about this incredible sweet condiment. I will share what I find and I have more. Thanks to your advice, palm it as well as just to see for yourself. Yes, it feels bitter, but this palm may just be meek, I suppose. I had Nurse Merman take a look at it, but she says there's nothing wrong with it health-wise. It should have some inquiries, ailments, or be like that. Even so, it never utters such much as a cry, which is odd. That part was even Miss Jock has. No. Sorry that I couldn't be of any help. Don't worry about it. I have some more information now thanks to Academy students' camera though. They say a Very was attacked by a wild Pokemon and fled here to the Academy grounds. Maybe it's still a bit of shock from the experience and can't bring itself to speak yet. Yep, if that's the case, then there's absolutely no problem with keeping quiet. We can just wait, that is, until he feels like talking. Even if you can speak all sorts of languages, there's no guarantee that you can understand what's going on in someone's heart. But have no fear, I won't give up. No, I'll keep on trying until we figure each other out. That's a very good advice. What you doing back here? You scared me. Oh no, I'm not here for anything. Who are you, pal? I was just walking around the entrance hall. I felt like that intergaze still that I had told to you before, so I quickly ducked into the cafeteria here. Our cafeteria has only one entrance, so I thought I might be able to discover the identity of the person watching me if they followed me in here. I guess I won't be able to ask my question then. That girl, I feel like I've seen her several times before. She seems like to be a student here, but I get the feeling that their question is not about her studies. Next time I'll see her, maybe I'll go start the conversation myself. It could have been a little scary being here on my own. I'm glad you... Are you perhaps interested in the rest of it? It is convenient that you would take the page I prepared in anytime. A vessel, a sword, and a set of tables. A set of the beads. After obtaining 4 of the treasure, the king's castle was destroyed. Why, you ask? Because these 4 treasures were actually 4 Pokemon. And these Pokemon were passed from human hand to human hand as treasure, and they slowly became tainted by hubris and greed. Finally, after coming in contact with the rapacity of these king at the time, they awakened as disasters and began to rampage out of control. The kings called for renowned Pokemon wielders to defend the country. After fierce battles, these incarnations' disasters were quelled. It's said that the 4 Pokemon were sealed away from Paldea. So what do you think? Would you say the story? Very astute of you. I have read many, and like, there is much support. I'm able to prove the best. Close to Miss Rayford. Press. No way, no way. Come on, man. Just try it. Well, good timing, kid. Mr. here won't try the sandwich I made. Well, duh. I don't want to get a stomachache. You won't, probably. Considering that sandwich you made me with meat filling and meat for bread. Actually, I would try that. I one really messed me up so bad. I had trained in the art of the sandwich making it back then. It was last month. So, as you can see, I'm not getting anywhere. Tried to persuade me. Even after I went through the intense sandwich making training, it kind of makes me sad. She went through intense training me. I guess I have no choice if I got one cute little student on your side. You come here, is it? It's a very strong material, but I guess it's not bad. Training paid off. I'm so glad that these pleases the great nurse. I look up to you, you know. Thanks for trying it, and thanks to... That was weird, but that's how Miss is, I guess. She's always coming to nurse her with some injury or another too. Whatever you did yesterday is now part of history. Today we will continue and unravel the marvels that I trust you all remember our lesson before. The midterm exam concerns the Great Crater, the Paldea Area Zero. This mysterious crater captured the imagination of many, including... Okay. 200 years ago, the exploration claimed that have finally reached its depth. The name of the team achieved the greatness defeat was the Area Zero Expedition. It was has been made up of Paldea's best and brightest, skilled battlers, brilliant researchers, talented individuals of any kind. Among the list of teams was the name of a man who was the author of a brilliant lecture, the historian Peace. After returning from the expedition to Area Zero, he used his literacy talent to record the event of the expedition and publish them. Ha. That was easy. I like him. To pick on someone, remember a term I simply slipped into a spell. The correct answer was areas. The records of the activities written by the expedition member Keith and can be found in the bookstores. The record is known as the Scarlet Buglocke. At that time, it was the entire region of Paldea was absolutely buzzing around. Probably that particularly everyone has a copy. However, the book itself was full of fantastic description and illustration of things that could never be thought of as real. The master began to call Heath a liar. Even the truth of the expedition making it to the bottom of the crater was called into question. The scholar was condemned to shelves of used bookstores and just another book of wild, phenomenal stories. There's a copy of one of the books on the hall on the ground floor. Actually, feel free to read it if you're interested. Oh, I'll actually check that out. It is the. But it's good. Within the Great Crater Paladin, a form of such a landscape such as Paladin is such and such Pokemon as we've never seen. It is emissary to human life and such I suspect something else. A photograph of the spot survey team rested in. Know the symbols that we were left in the Paladin Empire. Of course, they got older still, but God, they seem to be. The leaves spiral down and they often have a decent path. Fishes and source water are here as well. Legends that precious stones or wondrous food have been swept in Arizona's depths, protected by some sort of guardian. Sketches of the surveying team. Surprisingly, the Pokemon species are observed in the upper area seem more different from them seen outside craters. Now and then we have heard unfamiliar cries from the lower strata. As we descended further into the area, we begin to catch a glimpse of mysterious beasts, though we wonder if their huge ferocious beasts were indeed Pokemon at all. One of our team suffered a brutal blow from such a beast and was moved, forcing us to retreat. A member of the team captured his photograph by chance and noticed a passing resemblance to the Pokemon known as Donphan. Yet the difference, such as its sheer size and shape of its back, is set apart from its trunk. Oh, it's the same book that Arvin had. The areas have been wondrous and vigorous, and we dealt Terra Mystica and attempted to grow some. However, before we could harvest them, which grew large and strong, we call these Titan Pokemon. Mysterious place. As we were come across a buried metal statue, we attempted to shape up the pieces of it, but failed, leaving it. We even determined the natural of the metal seemed beyond modern science. We all know why the inscriptions were made, let alone how. How many days in depths we've reached the last of the very depth, and there were found a cave and formation of gemstones, and bright as sparkly. Perhaps the strange light itself is the guardian said to watch. Drawn a fantastical creature inside by the others. This size of ferocious, strange bomb looker. Lower tickled the artist's imagination to prompt to sketch what the creatures that inhabit may look like. During our explanation at Here's Depth, I had strayed from the team and was later found unconscious. When I woke, I was only recall speaking with someone in a field place as in a dream. I found holding a page showing the handwriting of all. I'm going to be writing this. The author, he pictured it with the rector of Naja Academy. The Academy generous fundings made the Zero mission possible. The data gathered has been shared with the Academy in hopes that it will aid the institution. Alright, he got it sponsored from Raid Shadow Legend. About the author. It was about the, and upon his a natural historian as well as a writer. He was chosen for the Zero mission and penned his account upon returning to the Empire. The Saliza aided the expedition as well as by bearing team luggage and equipment. A risk. What in the hell? While separated from the research team in the crater's depth, I found a strange entity. Whether it was a Pokemon or even alive. I know not it was born as still, with the layers of overlapping hexagon and gleaming brighter still than gemstones. This berry is my ace in the hole. I'm covered up my weaknesses. Wait, he's selection. You don't have an air barrier. Yeah, I can do this. Let's see if we can take out my first impression. Oh wow, you're gonna die. Bro, why the hell are you talking? That was very mean. That was pretty much uncalled for. Okay, after this I'm gonna basically go back and heal my Pokemon. Yawn. So we're going on old news. So that's off. Also, pretty uncalled for. Second best snowboarder in all the world, but he was injured in an accident badly enough. Second? Well, that's true. Oh. That Pokemon's very dangerous. Damn. Well, they're very electric. I swear, I wish I had poison, but I swear to God, but you don't. Yeah, I'll have to take them on too. Yeah, I'll give you a shot. also forget you don't have technician yet. But isn't it Mark a special attacker? Wait, he's lost him his power. What was it using? Oh, it was using Health Orb. Hey. Okay, please don't forget it. Now let's pick up a card where we left before. As I mentioned, the operation to resolve the stickers issue to find out the reasons behind Team Star's odd behavior. Above all, I want to know why the students seem to have stopped coming to school. And just like Cassiopeia, I want the team to disband for good. Since the joint operation with you, I've already had some success in opening up a dialogue with Team Star, and I think I've started to understand things more clearly. But I don't have enough information just yet. That's why I want to speak with the students from Team Star's other squad as well. If you intend to take another base, know that you can count on me for backup. Till then, see you around. What'd you put in there? Shoot. such beauty only to be marred by ugly piles of junk. I can't stand it. Sorry, because I shouldn't have taken out of my frustrations on you. Is the one of the team star, I guess. Whoop. What? Until then, give him regards. Yes, Miss Tangent. Who might you be on that? A friend? I see. Since you seem aware, I must inform you that this is the base of the young vessel. I don't think we're supposed to be giving out information. No, then please accept my apologies. Do you have any idea who this young man might be? He's not a friend of ours, you know. I think he might be here to take us on. In that case, I'll take it you're an adversary of the young man. So then, this leaves me one last... Would you be so kind to indulge me in a quick battle? So let's begin. We're all 48 there. I think I win with bullet punch. Sorry, I had anything. Well. However, be aware, young. Scar. I mean, he's not. Let's see you. Here to make trouble. Oh, you're only covered it. Fuck this. The could you learn Hurricane? I still got beat by some other kid. What? She's the last gym leader. It's like the worst place to bring a dragon. A weak trainer can never make it up. Yeah, I can't lift the sense. That kid 10 trainers? There you go. Blizzard. Not even a tenth trainer who would take on the gym before. I'm surprised he made it here. I knew that he was gonna cut my eye. Trust me, I could tell from our first battle you were gonna be. I bet you little one. Come on. It's a fruitful battle. Ah, damn it. Oh wow, I lose with the worst one of this fighter. Hey, what's that trick? Electric ground. Electric fighting. I kind of forgot I didn't touch the land. This one not touch the land. Okay, we're gonna. Wow, we're gonna play the lucky game. Are we really gonna play the lucky game? I still have nothing for dragons. I forgot I had a really happy big attack on the brink of blue. The battle between two masters. Yeah, the thing is, I'm basically like quadruple resistance to grass. Even with the pressure. And I also intimidated you too, so believe in you. Good. I think that should be enough more. You and your Pokemon should be sent out. Give it on. Here, that's it. It means do a snow play. And in Thailand, the starter, let's head down the woods and we'll fit details here. And have fun. Enjoy the winter wonderland on the way down. There's some best items I've ever seen. Oh, you obviously. No problem. And you know what it means? You cleared. And the right to challenge. Best of luck. The Sub-Zero himself. There you are. I'm freezing. I take it you're the challenger. My name is Grusha. I'm a snowboarder. Used to be pro actually. Now I'm the gym leader. I saw you on the slopes, you still. Yeah, they were pretty cool. But don't let that all go to your head. Winter mountains are dangerous. They can throw you life right off course. Easy as that. Same thing with Pokemon really. It's always the most dangerous when you're starting to get the hang of things. Today is not a great day to face me, you know. You're better off giving up. You know you want to battle me? He's backing off as they kind of start another attack. There's no justice. To the icy bite of reality. Alright, let's see what you got. Two Pokemon to do to it. Don't say in the morning, it's not my fault if you get overwhelmed. 4 times weak to fire and rock. That's no, I'm gonna move. 2 turns, text message. Set the time. Alright, let's... No, we're good. You go there? What's the third one? Oh, I see. The third one's dragon. Yeah, but that makes sense. I'm surprised you picked Altaria. Alright, bullet punch. But I was all like, not this situation can change in a heartbeat. Altaria's unpredictable. through my eyes. Actually, I punched through him. That burning passion you have, you strive for the future, no matter what challenges you face. Just like how I used to be. Oh, never mind, I should give you your gym badge. You wanna photo together to commemorate your win? Sure! Come on, that's so uncool. I don't usually do these sort of things, but okay, fine. Special occasion. Oh, that's sweet. The 7 million will catch Pokemon 55 more easily. They'll actually listen to you, which is nice. Oh, before I forget, you should take this too. Ice Spinner. Oh yeah, that's the new move I get. The user covers its feet with thin and ice and twirls it around. So this moving suspended notion also destroys terrain. Ooh, interesting. Should be a lot more useful than some silly photo of you and me. Feel free to stop by again, if you don't mind the cold that is. I wore pants this time. Thanks for the fight. Yeah, I shouldn't bullet punch the hell out of that team, but it's like, eh. It happens. Hey, Rika here. At your service. These gyms really aren't giving you too much trouble, aren't they? Rika! Oh yeah, right. You haven't met yet, have you? This young man is Kenan Kaiser. He's good with Pokemon, even while Prima takes an interest in him. Oh wow! But I think that Pokemon Team Poppy are really strong too. Like, really strong. Oh, I actually read that correctly. I actually read that correctly. Do I have the mind of a child? How did I just read that correctly? Which one of you is stronger, do you think? Well, I'm one of the Elite Four. I'm not surprised. Like, everyone I've been meeting is members of the Elite Four. I've met the old man, I met Rika. Everyone was in Elite Four, so I'm not surprised it is. I mean, we do it at 10. We were champions at 10 years old, so a 5-year-old is not. Now, aren't you just adorable? Now, it's hard to believe, but this tiny one is indeed one of the Elite Four. Yes, I am. I hope I get to show you my Pokemon soon, mister. So hurry up and come at the Pokemon League. It's where the pinnacle of Pokemon battling happens. See you there. Hey, wait up! Well, you keep up the good work, and you heard the kid. He's waiting for you. Hurry up, Poppy! Don't leave your pal Rika behind.